And hello, everybody. A big warm welcome to today's event. We're going to be hosting a special event for you today. It's a Tech Circus and Sketch event. We're going to be talking about a home for the entire creative process and about Sketch in 2021 and beyond. So yeah, Tech Circus is the company that I run. We have 15 staff. We operate globally. We do events for the UX and product community. Some of you may have been to the events recently. On Tuesday, we had an event in London. We had hundreds of people attending in person for the first time in 20 months, which was absolutely fantastic. And we run conferences globally as well. So check out Tech Circus. You can follow us on our Twitter and our Instagram and LinkedIn. We also have a Discord community, which we'll put a little magic pop-up that will come out in a minute. And in this Discord community, you can chat to lots of different people, engage about different topics in UX. We also have 3 other events coming up, so it's going to be really interesting. This is the first of a 3-part series. There's one every week. So this week's one's here, but next week we've got UX research and why it's important and how we do it as Sketch. And then the week after that, we'll have Can Data and Ethics Live Together? So if you enjoyed today, please make sure you come to the next ones. We want to gather a bigger and bigger audience as we go along with the series. Tell your friends, tell everybody about this. It's a free resource. Here's a little link again for you to be able to attend and join that event, which is happening next week, which is the user research, why it's important and how we do it at Sketch. Okay, so without much further ado, we've got a few other things that we'll be doing later today, but that's the most of the stuff that we need to go through on here. I want to introduce some of our speakers for today. The first one is going to be Matteo, and whilst he's putting his camera on, I'll just do a quick description of who Matteo is. He's a design advocate at Sketch. After being the VP experience designer at Barclays Corporate Banking and heading Midas Consoles with Music Tribe for 4 years. So hi, Matteo, how are you doing?
I'm okay, super excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for being here. We're really looking forward to today. So I'm going to let you introduce everybody else and what you're doing today. Thanks. And it's all over to you.
Thank you. Let me switch to my screen share. Let's see if it works. Can you see it, please?
We can see it, Matteo.
Okay, perfect. So so today with me, there is one other design advocate that just started 2 months ago, Jaime, that will help me during a live presentation we are doing about what we have in Sketch, and we're going to work together collaboratively. And then there is Medet, that is our head of community, is following the chat. He's helping you with everything there, and so please contact them. And I know that also a few other colleagues are here, so I'm a bit under pressure, as you can see. But before to start, and before talking also about me, but this will be very quick. And so I have a poll for all of you, just because we want to know, and I want to know, if you ever work with Sketch, you ever used it, how long have you used it, etc. So please, if you can reply, that would be helpful for me. Just give you like two minutes or 1 minute. That would be important for me to understand the audience, so we can also a bit tailor it over you. So newbies, a few pro users. Okay, so quite we are covering everything. So that's good. I'm gonna close the poll now. It was not intended to stay there for so long, and we're gonna start the presentation. So just a tiny bit about me. I'm Matteo Gratton, design advocate at Sketch. Actually, my first anniversary in Sketch was 2 days ago. So it's just quite a bit more than 1 year that I've been working with the team. And I'm super excited that they asked me to be here and to talk to you about our tool, where we are now, and also our vision for the future. So I'm quite excited about that. So let's start, and I'm starting with a quote from our CEO, Peter. Peter really believes into the fact that the best product happens when the entire team is involved in the effort. And this is something that with also the COVID pandemic, we saw even more. So for us, it is something that we are very focused on, and is one of the principles that are guiding all the development of our tool for the future as well. And actually that drove our development for the past few years. So where is Sketch today? Sketch today is not anymore only a Mac application tool. Actually, Sketch today is a lot more. And Sketch today is a connection of few things that works together in only one tool. So we are not talking anymore internally about Sketch Mac app or Sketch web app. We are talking about Sketch, and for us, the tool is just one only element that we name workspaces. So on the left-hand side here, you can see a workspace is on sketch.com. This is the workspace that I'm going to be live on later on. And we have a list of the documents here, but a lot of other things happens in the web part of Sketch. And of course, on the right-hand side, there is the Mac application. That is where the actual editing of the files happen, and the design work, the majority of the design work happen. But the two tools, the two parts of the tool are actually working together and are connected together, and more we are trying to connect them in order to make the process as smooth as possible. A few years ago, 11 years ago, those two guys on the left-hand side, there is Emmanuel, who is our CTO, and on the right-hand side is Peter, who's our CEO. They started to build Sketch. But now they also said that, as Peter mentioned before, the tool should be enabling collaboration between different teams, not only design, but of course development, of course project management, product management, content writers, etc. And this is where we are heading to. So, and this is the reason they started to develop the website of the application. And now this is a fully integrated platform for design and collaboration, and combine the best native Mac editor with tools that work in any browser. And our aim is to give everyone what they actually need. And this is also the reason why one of the main principles we have is to be user-centric, which means for us that we are doing a lot of research with the users, with you. My role is to be in contact with a lot of companies, a lot of our customers, Jaime's role as well. But particularly, we also created a UX research team that is led by Tanya. And actually, Tanya is who the next week is going to talk to you about what we are doing for the user research. And I kindly suggest to attend her event because it's super interesting. And she will tell you about what we are doing in our exercises with the customers and with you as users. Maybe you can also participate, which will be useful for us as well. And another principle that we really believe into is that we have got a very big focus on privacy first for our users. And again, this will be the topic of the third event that we are going to do, which will be again with me. and it is can data and ethics live together. This is more about general things, but the use case will be Sketch. And yeah, for us, it is absolutely important that we want to be transparent on what we are gaining, what kind of data we are gaining, and what kind of data we are sharing, and how. And the users are always in the center of our thoughts when we are thinking about that. And a third principle that drives us is that, again, design is collaboration. And because design is collaboration for us, this is what we released in the past year. And many people, actually, I discovered, I don't know, that now Sketch is a lot more than just a Mac application. We released Workspaces. Workspaces is a web platform where everything lands and actually permits you to manage everything in your team, share your documents, share your libraries, manage the team members, permissions, etc. And on the Workspaces, as I mentioned, you've got the team libraries that are automatically shared with everyone that is part of the team. You can share the prototypes that you can manage in Sketch directly on the web. Of course, you can make developer handoff. There is a version history tool as well, and you can comment on the every single artboard and every single element. But for us, design is also experience, and of course, historically as well, the main experience for us was the designer's experience, and so we are also still improving, of course, the Mac application, the Mac part of Sketch. And we introduced the component view, which is something that is quite unique, where you can manage all the different components that you have, which are for us are symbols, text styles, data styles, and color variables. There is an insert panel that permits you to insert and with drag and drop a lot of things, and we are going to see the things later on in the live. And we introduced assistants that really helps managers or actually designers in general to maintain their files clean, following rules. And then, of course, we did a lot of things that makes our everyday experience better, like a new way to select elements, a new way to navigate through elements, and we are working on a few new things that will come later on, and we will see that later. As you can see, I'm Italian. I'm moving a lot, so bear with me. I hope that you are not sick in the end. You will not be sick in the end of the presentation. And the last thing that we, of course, released this year, actually, is the real-time collaboration side. So real-time collaboration means that plenty of designers can work together on the same file at the same time, live. And actually, now I'm going to jump on the second part of this presentation, which is more a live session, and Jaime will help me. Actually, I'm going to the workspace first, and we are going to do something live as well. So this is how currently Workspace looks. You've got all your documents here. You've got your settings there, and you can swap between, of course, a preview view and a list view. You can just define what you want to see here and order them. And because, of course, the main focus here is about sharing documents, and share the documents also with people that are not designers. So they have to find what they need, etc. It is possible to have projects, as many projects as you want, and you can just drag and drop elements inside the project that you need. There is a special filter for libraries. All the elements or the documents that are flagged as library will be visible here at a glance. There is a folder, a special folder that is my draft, which is a private folder. So everyone that has got a private area where they can place their documents that they are not ready to share with anyone else. Actually, they can also decide to share them privately with someone, and we'll see later on how. And of course, there is a trash, because if you delete something, the hard delete will not happen before 90 days. One important thing here is the management of people, because this is something that really changed recently in Sketch. So now we are not releasing the licenses like you were used to, with a number that you had to apply to your Sketch Mac application. Now the licenses are actually enabled through who's managing the workspace. Actually, in this case, my user here, which is one for the demos, is not an admin, so I cannot add anyone. But it is possible to add here different kind of users. And you have the editors, that usually are your designers, are the people that need to edit a file. So open also the Mac application. And the editors are the only paid seats. Everything else, all the others are viewers, and they are infinite, and they are for free, and they will be able to access everything that is in the web part of Sketch. And this is an important thing for us. And then, of course, there are admins. You can have as many admins as you want, and they are just managing the memberships, paying things, etc. But yes, going back to my old document area here, this is a document that we are going to work on. You can see who is editing it, and you can see that at the moment I am editing it, and also Jaime. And you can see who opened the file for the last time, and who saved it. Actually, I'm also editing Hydrate. I just closed it, and Sketch is still remembering it. And you can just navigate through all your documents. Once you open a document, even if you are a viewer or an editor, nothing changed here. You will be able to see all the pages that you have in your document. You can navigate through them. You can see all the artboards that you have, all the symbols that you generated. You can also, of course, navigate through the elements, and there is a history of the file. You can go back and forward with the history of the file. See, I like a light version here of this document, and now this version here is a dark version of it. And you can always download an old version, compare them, override them, etc., etc. So everything that is related to versions is here. And there is an extra feature that is important to be mentioned, that we added the idea of starring updates, which means that those are important updates. And for library, they are the only updates that everyone that is servicing from a library will be able to use. And for any other document, and the libraries as well, if they are shared externally, the start versions are the only versions that the external users can see. Because everyone that is part of my workspace, in this case, where are the users here? All those users are able to see all the documents. But you can also invite external people to see your document. So you can share, and you've got different permissions here. You can decide to share just the link, and to permit the viewer inspection of the document for anyone that has got this link. Or you can invite someone here, like directly. I'm going to invite Jaime, even if he is already part of this document, and you can decide which kind of permission he has, and also invite him to be an editor. It means that you can invite external editors to your document. And if they have already a license, they will pay their license, and they will be able to edit your file. And finally, you can also define how the people that are part of your team, your workspace, are able to interact with this document. So in this case, I can define that maybe everyone in Monday Studio can only view this document, and only a bunch of people can edit them. Like, I don't know, if you got a library and you don't want everyone in your team to edit the library, they can, you can set it up from here. And to set a library, it's just a matter of making this flag here available, and the document will be flagged as a library. The other interesting thing here is that, and all those things are available from the web part, so for everyone, even without a Mac. From here, you can also see the version history for every single document. You can add a comment. I can mention people. Jaime, please review this one and send the comment. And Jaime will receive a notification, and he can reply. Oh, he already replied. I can reply. Thanks. Yeah. And now we've got the thread of the comments. And all the comments are actually stored based on. Thank you, Jaime. And all the comments are also following the history that you have, so they are contextualized based on when you actually wrote them. You can decide to follow the artboard or not follow the artboard. So even if there are comments that you are not mentioned into, you will receive a notification. But you also can inspect the document, and the inspector tool is something that we actually work quite a lot on, because this is where the teams can really collaborate. The two main teams that are actually developing a product can really collaborate together. So handing off a design document to developers is probably one of the most important part of our job as designers. So it is quite self-explanatory. You can navigate through all the elements, see them in place, but and you can copy and paste every single element, also the content. So if you need to add the content to your code, you can just copy it to the clipboard. You can copy every single element here, and you can also copy, in this case, the actual color variable that I applied to Sketch, and we're going to see the color variable in a few minutes. But you can also define that you want to download it in different codes, and once you select hexadecimal and you copy it, it will be remembered all through the system. So if I'm going here, it will be again hexadecimal, etc., etc. The other interesting thing that we added here is that every single time you got a symbol in Sketch, the system recognizes that it is a symbol and will show you the symbol in the context, in its original context. So if I click here, or actually I can also click from the bottom here, I jump directly to the symbol itself, and I can see it is in its agnostic context, which means that all the differences that lands between this element here in the symbol page and the actual element that is part of the my final design page are the overrides that also the developer should apply. So if I have the default icon that is white and here is green, so if I'm going to the building, actually it was black, and as you can see here is green. So I can quickly see that I have, as a developer, I have to apply something over it. And the same is valid for every single element that is part of a symbol. And if you've got a symbol that is nested inside, you can still follow in the process and go in depth and more in depth and more in depth. And every single at the moment, I don't remember if I added any asset to this document, but if there is any available asset to be downloaded, all the assets are available from here. And you can also download all the assets directly from the entire document page. So from here, you can download the entire set of assets if you need them. And if they are set at the moment, they should be set inside Sketch with slices or set as an exportable element. Okay, so say that you can, of course, from here also edit the document inside Sketch. I already have it opened, but if you click here to edit, it will automatically open Sketch, and you jump on your Mac application, Mac part of the application, and you can, as you can see here, I also have Jaime that is collaborating with me. I can follow him. He is playing around, and I can see what is changing. That could be also useful for, I don't know, design reviews or critiques. and I can work on the same time than him, so I can stop to follow him, or I can actually also work following him as well. But if he's jumping around, Jaime, can you please? I'm following you. Can you please jump on a different page from here so I can see that you go to the icon page? I don't know, and I can see where you are. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Just that. I'm going back to the design.
Have to help.
Yeah, and the other thing that is important to mention here is that this is actually real live collaboration, and if you edit the same element, like Ian and Jaime are going to edit this header here, and I'm going to change the actual title for instead Oasis Resort. I will change the text, and he will change, for instance, the color of the elements. That will not be a conflictual change, because what actually Sketch does when we are in a live session, it is sending through the server only the super tiny changes that you actually applied, and you are applying always one change at a time. So this is something that makes the app and the update very, very quick. The only thing that can slow down if you put like a huge image, and of course it needs the time to be uploaded and downloaded to all the other documents. People that are working with you and like collaborating with you. But other than that, the changes are in real time, and you can see he's moving the mouse, etc., etc. So what we added here in the Mac application, thank you for going back, is that, as I mentioned, we added this show component panel. In the show component panel, and you can move between the two with Control-1 and Control-2. In the show component panel, you will have the entire list of all your components. And for Sketch, components are color variables, layer styles, text styles, and symbols. And from here, you can quickly rename them, group them, and make quick actions. Like I want to group them, I can group them. I'm making slowly, and then I can rename the group here to be like special colors, and now I got my group. And if I'm going here back to all the variables, I can still see them, but I can see them in context. And if I need to search them from any element of like this Oasis Resort, if I'm going to this document, I can see that I now have also the group special colors, etc. You can also, quickly change all the layer styles, font families. Like you can select all of them, Command A, and you can go and say instead Susan Pro, I want Open Sans, and I'm changing it to Open Sans, and now all my styles are in Open Sans. I can just quickly check it, and I can go back to my design, and my design is with Open Sans now. And you can see that the styles have been updated automatically from here. I can always change a style from the original way we did it. From here, I can use, not auto serif, but then I have also to update it here in order to update all over the places. Whether from here, the changes are like straightforward. They are going to be changed automatically everywhere. So I'm going back to our Source Sans Pro because it was working better, at least to me. Same thing, of course, for the layer styles. You can change the colors, you can change everything, and the color variables can be reused everywhere. Also in the shadows. So if you need, you can change them. And now I got my black that is 1 2 1 2 1 2. If I'm going here and I'm going to change my black to something else, something that is a bit reddish, and I'm going back to my style. This style will be updated with, did I save it? Yes, it is live. It is not working. Perfect. Why is not working? Because it's black 15. Actually, my fault. It's my fault. I changed the wrong style. Perfect. So now we got it. Is for 48B3B. Yes, perfect. And of course, it will be reflected also in your design. And the other things that he introduced that I mentioned is the insert panel. If you hit C, or actually you can reach it out from here, or also from the menu, but of course just pressing C is super quick. You can search for a symbol. So if I search for button, I can find my elements and I can quickly insert them, also with a double click. Like if I do double click, it will insert it where I place the mouse. And of course, from here, the other interesting thing is that I can also, let me navigate quickly from here. Okay, so we've got this icon that is yellow. I want to change the color, so I can also go to my color variables, or actually my styles in this case, and I want it to be orange. I can even drag and drop it directly here, and automatically it is orange. So with the drag and drop, you can also change the overrides super quickly and super intuitively. And this is something that the being native enables us to manage those things a lot. Jaime, remember me if I am missing anything?
I think you got it all. We went through styles, we went through symbols, overrides. Maybe if you want to go highlight some of that, but I think you got everything.
Yeah, that's fine, because the overrides is something that's been here for quite a long time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Let me go back, because, okay. The other thing that is nice is that, of course, because we're working on our own laptops, my laptop will remember the history, so I can command Z going back and going forward with only my changes without affecting the Jaime's changes. So that's useful as well.
Also, Matteo, maybe an update when you save and make an update. You might want to show a little bit of that.
True. Yeah. So now I hit save. It will create an update on the web part, and if I navigate through the web part, we will receive an update of it. Did I save it? Yes. Yes, it's processing. And now I got the document updated. And also, if we go here where we had the comments, the new update is actually after the comments that we did before. So we see these. There is one thing that is important here that I forgot to mention, because it's not present in this Monday Studio document. So I have to go to a different document. So here, just to, where is it? Here. So we are also showing you any prototype that you are creating in Sketch. You know that in Sketch you can create as many starting points as you want, and every single starting point that you are creating in Sketch will be visible from here. So you can have as many prototypes as you want, which means that you will be able to define, I don't know, a prototype for your mobile version, a prototype for your desktop version, a prototype for your tablet version, and they will be visible from here directly. You can just launch it and it will work, and it can be navigated directly from the web. But also, I don't know, you can A/B testing things, so you can have different flows and you can test different flows and send your prototype link directly to the users with a version A and version B. You know that they are testing one version or the other, and you can check what is going on. And the other interesting thing is that also the prototypes are actually versioned within the versions of the file. So every single version of the file that has the prototype, this prototype is different than this one, it will be updated. And you can always send and define which version you want to send to the users. You can always send the last version, or you can decide to send them only this version, which is useful also if you are working with developers and you want them to always land on one specific version, even if you are working on different versions. You can always do that. And actually, you can also embed Sketch documents directly into a lot of tools that are supporting or embedding. So that's useful as well. So you can, for instance, insert it in Notion, in Miro, in Jira, etc. So you can actually directly ask to your developers to see the document directly from the tool that they are using. Even not the developers only, but project managers, etc. Okay, so that was an important part. So let's go back to my presentation, and the live session is ended. So now we are going to see what the team is working on at the moment. And before starting that, I want to mention that the team grew up quite a lot in the past year. So actually in the past 2 years, but since I joined, we grew up more than 40%. I was like around 100 employees, and now we are 160. So the team is growing up super fast, and internally we can see a lot of changes that are already happening. They are slowly coming to users, but they will be a lot more visible super soon. So, and actually we are super excited. I'm super excited being inside, because when you are inside, you can see a lot of things. So things that the team is working on at the moment. And we also have the team now divided in different verticals that are following different things. And we've got an editor, a team that is working on managing the actual editor for the Mac part of the app. And the first thing that they are working is improving the corner radius. And this is something that is coming soon. You can see here an example. And then, of course, they are going to work on smart layout that we know is a highly requested feature, and it needs to be updated, and the team is working actively on it as well. Sorry, just a second. So, and actually before, how can I go back? It's going forward. Where are we? Here, and play. So before going there, I'm just going to do another poll for you. And here is the poll that I have. If you are using any design system and how much. So please, if you can reply, that will be useful for us. Thank you for replying. I'm drinking something in the meantime. Okay, we are exactly 25% with everyone, with every single option. Okay, I let Medit or Jaime to close the poll, and then just going forward. So we've got a team that is working actively on design systems, and the first things that they are working on is to present the component view also on the web, which means that if you are inspecting a document and the document is a library, or if you've got symbols and you want to inspect them in a different way, the view that exists in Sketch will be available also in the web inspector. So you will be able to follow exactly the same process that I was following before when I was working with Jaime. You will be able to see all your text styles or your layer styles in the context of a layer style, which at the moment is something that is not available. And you will be also able to see all your symbols and in the context of the symbols themselves. And of course, you can just always jump back and forward if you want to see the artboard view, or if you want to see this way of viewing your symbols and your components. Then the other thing that the design system team is working is to export the color variables as tokens, as a JSON file. This is something that is coming super soon, and is something that has been highly requested, and it will come super soon. And actually, it will reflect what the W3C team that is working on tokens is generating as best practices to export elements. So that will be available following the structure that the W3C is preparing for us. And the third thing that the team is working at the moment is component documentation, which means that you will be able, and I already saw a demo. This is internally is always easy, but you will be able to add a documentation to every single component, to every single artboard, and to every single group in your library. Which means that you can say, okay, this button should be used in this case, or this group of buttons should be used in this case, and all the other part of the documentation that you want to add to a single element. And the other thing that is a highly requested feature the design system team is working on is textiles management, which means that we are going to detach, or not detach, but we are going to permit you to decide if you want to be able to override or not part of the textiles as they are at the moment. So you will be able to decide if you want to allow to override everything, color, weight, decoration, and alignments, or only part of it. So if I want header to be always orange, like in this case, I should just only double uncheck the color option and leave all the other available. In that case, in the overriding option, my designers will be able to change the alignment, but where they will not be able to change the color, and so on and so forth. So this is a improvement that's been highly requested, and the team is working on at the moment on it. And actually, they are also working on improving the overrides in general, but this is very difficult to explain without a proper demo. So I don't have a demo that I can show you. Then there is a team that is working on documents, which means that everything that is related with how we manage the documents, how we share the documents on the workspace, etc. And the first main project they are working on at the moment is having private projects. Private projects will permit you to segregate documents even from part of your team in based on permission. So people will be able to see something that is in a project, but someone else that is part of your workspace will not be able to see that documents exist in that specific document. It's like the draft folder, if you want, but with permissions on the folder itself based on the people that are part of the group. And then we also have presentation team. Actually, before the presentation team, we've got, of course, the core teams that are working on improvement, the performances. Actually, this year we improved them quite a lot. And it was very nice to me to see how behind the lines, how they are working on things, how they are testing different approaches to improve the performances of the tool. And this year, actually, the performances of the entire ecosystem improved quite a lot. And as I mentioned, there is also a presentation team. At the moment, their main focus is on the canvas view, which means that you will be able to see the entire canvas view from the web, and you can navigate through the canvas from the web. So you can export them flows. You can show the entire flow as a developer, as a manager, or a product owner directly from the web. You can see notes that are posed outside any artboard. You can see lines that are outside the artboards, and then you can jump on the artboard just to see the different elements, to inspect it, etc., to perform all the actions that we already mentioned before. And this last project will enable us to do a lot of things that are highly requested as well and are part of our vision. So improving the prototyping, improving also inserting annotations directly on specific points onto your artboards or your canvas. So that project is going to enable us to do a lot of things. And our vision for the future is that we really want to improve and to stick to our principle of improving the collaboration between different parts of the product team and all the different parts of the product team. And we still want to give everyone the tool that they need, which means that as a designer, I need to be able to edit a document, and I don't want that a developer or someone else will edit my file because they have to see some of my edits. And so they will go on the inspector tool, and they will be able to see everything in place, but without messing up the files. And giving the stakeholders, external stakeholders, a place where they can place comments and and make critiques, or just collaborate in different ways. This is not actually designing and editing a document. So we are trying to give everyone to make the best tool possible for everyone in their function as part of the product team. And of course, as usual, we are still trying to stick with our subscription model, which is $9 a month or $99 a year. And with this, and actually it is the same price that we had before of having workspaces, but now we've got a tool that can cover a lot of the requests that you have into your entire product team. And as usual, and we continue to think that this is an important part of our way to be, is that we will continue to be open. So our open file format, which is something that is specific for Sketch, will still be there. So you will still be able to interact with the format and your document. You will be still able to work also offline if you want. And you will still be able to use external companion tools if you really need them. But our aim is to enable you to do the majority of things with our own tool. So get started to use Sketch. Thank you all. And if the QR code is going to our career page, so please have a look. If you find any position and any role that can suit you, please apply, because the team is growing up quite a lot and we are still hiring for a lot of roles. I don't know if there are any design role at the moment. There is any design role at the moment, but yeah, you can follow it and you can find it out. So thank you very much. The presentation ended here, and I can close end of the show. And I'm just playing it with the first one, or we can go back to the slides.
Okay, so can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, cool. So our first question is, are there any discounts available for students and freelance designers, although the monthly rate is already quite low?
So there is something that we have to define here, which is that with the old version of the system, which is only the Mac part, there is a discount for the students, which at the moment is not available for workspaces. For workspaces, what is available is that you have a 30 days trial that is for free, and you can use it for free, and you can test the system and invite as many people as you want. And then after 30 days, it is start to be a payment system. So this is what we have at the moment. We are working on it.
Yeah, but we are working on that, and we're considering all the options in order to provide better options for students.
This isn't a question in the Q&A, but somebody commented in the chat, no design roles with a sad face. Do you have design roles going?
What do you mean with roles?
No roles, positions for hiring.
Okay.
I can go check right now. If you give me just a second, I can go on our.
I don't know.
site.
I know that we just hired 3 designers that started in the past month, and 2 other design advocates that started this week, and they are in the crew today. So they are roles that actually are filled quite soon. Usually, if we are opening it in like 1 week, we find so many candidates that we have to close the roles and follow the process for the interviews and etc. So this is a lot, particularly for designers. This is like a tiny problem, if you want, because they have to be super quick to apply to the role. Usually, I know that we receive so many candidates and application that is very hard to reply to all.
Lucky you, most of the market are struggling.
I know.
So that's an advantage of being one of the best design tools, I take it. You've got so many designers wanting to work on it. They also said about writing roles as well, if you've got any of those. But if we can link those to people, I think they would like that.
Also writing roles will come for sure. One thing that is important to mention that Medet also did an entire session about that is that Sketch is a full remote company, actually is a fully distributed company. We don't have any office. We are all working from home and from all over the world. I'm in the UK, Jaime is in Spain, and we've got people in like, I think 32 or 33 countries at the moment. So you can apply to a role even if you are, you need to know that you're going to work from your home. And actually with the pandemic it was quite problematic for us because usually we have yearly meeting with the entire company, and of course in the past 2 years they were not able to organize it. So we are fingers crossing that next year finally we can meet all together, also because since I joined I only met Medet once live, and one colleague that will start soon as a designer. So as I mentioned, the designers roles are going quite fast. But we are really missing to meet each other, to see each other live. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, it's great to have a remote working culture, isn't it? We do that at Tech Circus now as well after the pandemic, and it's worked really well for us.
Yeah, it is a completely different way to work. You have to adapt to it. It is not easy, and when you've got so many time zones, it is even more difficult because like Laishi that started this week is in Puerto Rico, and Joseph that started this week is in San Francisco, or I don't remember, San Francisco, I believe, but West Coast. So time zones wide is quite broad, and it is difficult to overlap, and we have to be very organized in order to be able to work together. Oh yes, it's super interesting.
Yeah, stay. Make yourself the idea of checking the careers page every now and then, because we're always opening new roles. And although at the moment we don't have a design role, keep checking.
Thank you. So Nathan asks, how soon will prototyping receive a much needed upgrade? ?
I don't have an ETA. I cannot share any ETA. The team is working on the canvas view because this is the first step to improve also prototype. This is and canvas view, as you saw, I exposed a video of a demo of it. It is already working. Actually, it is working on my account because I got it active for me. And it will come quite soon. So after that, they will work on other projects, and of course, the prototype is one of them.
Yeah, the canvas view will enable better prototyping when it comes.
Oh, interesting. Something to be excited about. Okay, so next up we have a question from Pranav. I hope I pronounced that right, Pranav. So do you have a free single project subscription for students or individuals who just want to show their creative work to get a job in the market?
Not at the moment. For the students, only for the license, not workspaces, there is a discount, but at the moment we don't have any free subscription.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone does, but it's a nice little marketing technique maybe for the future to get people in early. Okay, and next question. What are the best avenues for a novice to explore and learn Sketch autonomously? Any resources that you can recommend for someone starting out?
Yes, so we are working on it. A lot of resources that are on YouTube are a bit outdated now. One very good resource is from one of your new colleagues, Joseph. Learn Sketch. If you search for it in YouTube, you will find it. His web channel, his YouTube channel, has got quite a lot of super interesting videos. There is our blog that we are starting to create content also for explaining specific part of the tool, and I'm personally involved in that effort. And we, as the design advocates, we are also working on something that will come.
Yeah, we're
As soon as
brewing
possible.
something up that will come out, as soon as possible, in order to address that particular need.
Amazing. Okay. Don't know if you want to answer that one. I'm not going to say it out loud.
I can say it loud. You should use Sketch. That's it.
Yeah. You're asking a very biased audience, but you should use Sketch.
Brilliant. Yeah, I was actually doing a little Google before about best tools, and Sketch just comes up number one quite often. So yeah, a lot of people agree, I believe. Okay, so we are coming to the end. We're actually right on time. So if there's any last questions popping in right now, I can ask one more, and then we're going to have to drop off, but it'll have to come in right this second. Okay, so nothing popping in yet. I'm going to just say thank you to everybody and close this now because we've had a really nice interactive session. Thank you so much for all the questions and interest in Sketch. And I think it's been really, really resourceful, really useful today. Everything's been absolutely fantastic. And I have to say, as the person who runs Tech Circus, it's an absolute pleasure to be doing this event with Sketch today. So I want to thank the team for allowing us to collaborate. And we have next week another event. I'm going to do a pop-up once again so that you can see that event and sign up. This one's going to be like user research and why it's important and how to do it at Sketch. So I'll just pop this out. And if you want to sign up for that, we've already got very high numbers for that one. Lots of people come in. It's going to be a really busy event. So it's looking like, a very busy one. So join us, and we'll be here next week, same time, for another event with Sketch. Thanks so much to Matteo and Jaime for coming today. We really, really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I think we pretty much can wrap up there. Is there anything else you guys want to say at all?
Follow us. Follow us. A lot of things are coming. A lot more than what I could share.
Interesting times ahead. So
yes.
Be sure to follow Sketch. It seems like there's a lot going on in the background. Okay, brilliant. Thanks so much, everybody. I'm going to do a closing video now. And once again, thanks to Sketch and everyone that's joined us tonight.
Thank you.